Hi, welcome to Lina's Music House channel. I'm Lina Chan and I am here with a good friend of mine, NUSensei, who I've known since high school. NUSensei is an archer and an archery coach. So if you don't know him, he has the world's leading archery YouTube channel with over 6 million views and 30,000 subscribers. He's been doing archery for 6 years and I'm really happy to have him here today to discuss with him a few things. So both sports and music helps improve learning and self-esteem. So whether you are learning sports or music, there are skills that you need to learn to be good at it. So today I'm very excited to discuss with NUSensei on the similarities and obstacles that you can face when learning a sport or learning a musical instrument. So NUSensei, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm a high school teacher first and foremost. When it comes to archery, I kind of fell into it, and a lot of people fall into hobbies. I do a lot of things. I do artwork, I do a bit of music, I try to at least. And sport was something I never did as a kid. I never liked sport, never liked watching sport, and I hate team sports. You know, things like football or cricket. I like watching now and then, but I never liked doing it. I was never good at sports. So after I started working as a teacher, I was told about this club which just happened to be here. Apparently it's been for quite a while, and I never knew about it. So all my friends said, come over, have a shot. I'm like, okay, sure. And now I'm the club president and coach, and now I'm a YouTuber. So they kind of really escalated over the years. But I kind of fell into archery. And now, like I said, I do a bit of training, I do some competitions, I do some coaching, and that's pretty much how it started. It was kind of a random invitation, and here I am.
Well, that's the same thing with me as well. I was never really active in high school. And for you to do archery, what obstacles did you face? Because I've never done archery before in my life, so this is all new to me. So can you tell me what obstacles did you face when you first started sport, when you weren't doing sport growing up?
Well, one of the best things about archery is that it's very accessible. With other sports, you need a certain level of fitness and a certain a health standard, I guess, where you have to be a certain strength or a certain speed. So some people are more naturally gifted in sport than others. Archery isn't a sport that was very demanding. It's easy to pick up, but very hard to master. I guess my first obstacle was, am I doing it right? You just learn the steps one by one. It's like when you play piano, you play a few notes and then you somehow play overjoyed. That's what happens, right? And it's really fun. You figure it out, you get it right, and then you want to do more harder things. And archery is like that. The first few steps are very easy. So learning how to stand, learning how to pull the string back. I mean, after overcoming a few initial, fears or nervousness, then afterwards it's actually a lot of fun. But I think my first obstacle was kind of finding the commitment to it. That really tripped me over to see how much time you actually needed to put the archery to progress. So I was very keen off the bat. I bought my first bow very quickly. I spent every day shooting when I could. And then that slowed down. I think that's the biggest barriers. It's like over time, other priorities have come in. I've had to manage different things, and I guess that's my biggest barrier. I guess the entry bow was quite fun and engaging, but maintaining that energy level all the way through has been the biggest challenge.
That sounds a lot like the students when they first start learning a musical instrument. They get all excited when they first get started. They buy a new keyboard or a digital piano.
Which I have done.
Yes.
Just want to play it all the time.
Yes. And then the thing is, you get all excited with this new toy, and then suddenly you realise, I actually need to put effort into this.
It takes skill to play. Mine is like in a rolling piano, like a Yamaha. If I press these keys, you might learn something really quickly, but then it's like, this is getting too hard for me now. And I guess archery is similar, where you buy this brand new bow, and you feel like you're going to shoot really well with it, then you realise, it's not the bow, it's actually you. So if you don't practice, the gear doesn't matter. You can spend as much as you want, but you need to put in time. I think that's the biggest thing in anything is practice. So I admit, one of the hardest things for me as an archer is practice. You need to put in so much practice. I mean, our regular thing is we come once a week and we run it for a couple of hours. Most people come for social things, so they come, have a chat, have a shot, and then go home. It's the hardest thing is I'm trying to put the hours in, but that means not just the weekends, but also every weekday where possible. Because someone who wants to be serious with archery has to train every weekend. When we get the Olympian to shoot like 2,000 hours a week, like 300 a day or something, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week, so archery is their life. But for a lot of us, we're like, we're recreational shooters. We come for fun, we're casual. So coming in and going from, I'll do it once a week, it's a fun one-off activity, to I have to come 5 times a week and nobody's forcing me to, I have to choose to do so. That discipline is really hard, and I think a lot of people drop out of the sport because they don't understand that that extra effort that it takes to become proficient.
I've got a question because I've never done archery before, and if I was to do archery, the first thing I want to know is, when can I shoot that arrow? When would I be ready? Because you mentioned I have to learn to stand first, and I'm like, I want to just skip all of that. Let's just go straight into shooting.
There is theory and there are steps behind archery, but really, like when you come and try archery for the first time, we streamline the process. We basically teach you a couple of things. You stand like this way, you hold the bow like this, and then you shoot right away. So within the first 60 seconds, you're shooting your first arrow. That's fairly normal, and we try and maximize shooting time in the first lesson. We don't want to bore you with theory. That can come later, because the way archery works is we have that one-off program where it's got to come and try for a reason. You come, you try, and you do as much as you can within an hour or 2 hours. And then afterwards, that learning comes later. For those who want to learn more and become more proficient, have more technical knowledge, that comes later. But you basically shoot right away. The moment you hold your bow, you show to shoot, and then you're on target.
But the thing is, would I be able to hit on target within the first lesson?
It does actually matter. The answer is yes. But it doesn't actually matter where you hit. The idea is you go through a process. You trust the process, then the shot will go where it will. Now, a lot of people in archery, they're uncertain. They're not sure about the process, and they get very nervous, and they make a lot of mistakes, and that's normal. That's what happens when you're learning something the first time. People come in with a lot of preconceptions. They see archery.
Like piano as well. That's why I'm asking, because usually when students come in for the first lesson, they want to be able to play these long pieces within 6 months, and that's why I want to know about sports, because I want to know, will I be able to shoot that arrow to hit on target, to be able to shoot really well? Because a lot of people think you can complete the whole entire piano course, in 1 year I'm done.
Like people progress at different rates. Some people will pick it up a lot more naturally than others. Especially if you have similar hobbies in the past, of people who play pool or who have done shooting sports. They know more the patience and the structures and the processes. So some people can acquire transfer skills a lot more easily. Others are really awkward to teach because they can't handle more than one thing at once. They struggle to follow a sequence. And archery is a sequence. You do this, then this, then this, then this. It's not really dance steps where you kind of fumble around and you're really uncoordinated, and that can really slow you down. But anyone can shoot reasonably in the first session or first couple of sessions. You look at that giant target behind us over here. We're only standing like 10 meters away. It's really hard to not hit it. And that's exactly the point, is we don't want to try and make you shoot a really small target or a really far away target. That's something we can do later on as a challenge. But from here, people enjoy getting things on target. Just hearing that the sound of arrows on target, it's that feel good, it's that feedback you get right away. And that's where we think that, as long as you hit the target, then that's okay. It's not like you have to be super accurate, but people will find that once they start seeing arrows hitting the goal, they start feeling a bit more confident, and then their flow becomes a lot better. And it's a phenomenon where beginners, after about a week or two, they start shooting quite well, and suddenly things go downhill from there. So it's like that honeymoon period where everything's so good, and that motivates you to try harder and shoot more accurately. But then it kind of fades away as you kind of see that long haul, and you go, I'm not putting the same effort in, it's not exciting to me anymore. And the initial thrill starts to kind of fade away.
So how do you overcome this? Because we get that in music as well. You learn music, you learn all these new songs, and then you're improving, moving through the books really quickly, and then suddenly you kind of take forever on one song, and you start to lose motivation. So same with what you're saying, once your progress plateaus, then how does an athlete overcome this?
It's the hardest thing. There are lots of hard things, but it's like the grind. It's like you're trying to level up your archery skill, your music skill in this case. And a lot of it is just patience. A lot of it is just doing the same thing over and over again. And same with piano, is to repeat the same chord progressions and the same scales especially. And look, training isn't always fun, and this is something you have to admit with practice. Is when people say practice, they think, oh, I'm going to go and shoot for an hour. That's practice, but it's like playing the whole song. It's like playing the song isn't the same as practicing, because you're just shooting, and you're not really looking at feedback, you're not really looking at which part you need the most work in. Maybe you have to work on a particular part of your form. It could be your stance isn't right, or your release isn't right. So training isn't always fun, but something you have to factor into your routine. And I think that, for people who don't really have a goal in mind, it's hard to set a routine up. So, I mean, for example, if you're aiming for a state competition at the end of next month, then you've got to block in time to practice, block in time to get that the sight settings and just get your conditioning up. But when you have no goal, there's no motivation to do so. So I'm doing the same thing every week, and there's no drive to become better. And that's one of the traps of sports, and especially archery, is because it's so individual. It's just based on your intrinsic value, your motivation. That's when you falter the most, because no one's watching you, no one's kind of judging you. It's just you, and because of that, that can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
Now that you mentioned state competitions, so we were just talking about more learning it as a hobby at the start. So we were just talking about doing it for leisure. Now, when someone is learning for leisure and then suddenly they go, oh, I might want to do this as a career or as a profession. So what obstacles do they face when they've had this mentality of doing it as a hobby, and then suddenly they want to now take it seriously?
Oh yeah, like that mentality. Because archery for most people is a hobby. People don't take it seriously. Some people will go bow hunting and they might actually hunt things with their equipment. Some people might want to compete, and this is a very small minority, unfortunately. Most people, again, are just social shooters. They just want to turn up and have a shot, hang with friends, and mingle with people. And that's one of the great things about archery. It's just like you can come to a club and meet people with the same mindset, the same interest. But that transition to competitive shooting is like, some people are very reluctant to do so. You can't force them, you don't have to, because not everyone wants to be a top shooter. But there's this kind of like, I guess you put on a large pedestal, where people who want to compete are Olympians, and they're their own special breed, but really it's not. I mean, anyone can start climbing the pathway. A lot of people who don't expect to become Olympians do become highly competitive archers, because not many people take that step. But the hardest thing is going from I'm doing it for fun to I want to become better. I'm the sort of person who finds pleasure in becoming better at something. It's why I like archery. It's the same thing over and over again, and you do it till you get it perfect. And that to me is a sense of progression. It's a very long sense of progression. It might take years, but I feel like I can become better. But again, a lot of people want immediate feedback, so that's why the one-off sessions might be very fun. Oh, I can hit the target, I feel really good about myself. But then someone who's trying to become good will punish themselves a lot more. They'll go, oh, I should have had 6 arrows in a 10 ring, not 5 arrows. I missed, I shot, hit the blue instead of the yellow. So it's punishing. I think the standard's a lot higher. The stakes are high as well. So it's like, I think most of all you need motivation, you need goals. When you have goals, you know what you're aiming for, and when you experience competition, it exposes what you are missing most. So it might be you lose concentration, it might be a physical thing, you might not have the stamina, that sort of thing. So there are lots of challenges, but I think the mentality coming in is, people who want to put themselves out there can benefit a lot more. Even if you don't plan to be a career archer, there aren't many people who can do that, because archery is a very low-key sport. It's not a big mainstream spectator sport. It's very little sponsorship and money. But for people who kind of think about the career side, it's like, well, how much energy and enthusiasm do you have to carry yourself through? How much discipline do you have to do it all the way to a higher level? That's what you want to do.
That leads me to my next question, going to a high level. So with piano and musical instruments, when you're learning it, when you're doing it as a hobby, you can just practice maybe 20 minutes a day, a few days a week. But then when you take it seriously and you want to get to a high level, you actually need to do in do at least maybe half an hour to an hour of practice a day. So as a sport to practice, what is involved? Like how much practice do you need if you want to go from hobby to professional level?
Yeah, like literally same thing, hours. Like you can't not practice and become good. I think one thing of archery, it's deceptive.
Yeah.
It looks easy. You just pick it up, have a shot, and you'll be okay. I think similar things with some musical instruments where, look, I just press these keys and I can play a song.
Yeah.
But like with archery, I think piano is very similar. So you need flow. I mean, you might know the basics, you might know the skills and the process, but you need flow in the process. And with confidence comes flow, with flow comes fluency. Fluency means more accurate shooting. And you can only acquire that flow if you spend the hours shooting poorly. I mean, you have to learn from your mistakes. I mean, if you people who train with higher volume, I mean, think about not just hours, but the number of hours you shoot. I mean, you might turn up for 2 hours, but shoot 10 hours and go home.
Yeah.
That's not really training. It's like turning up, having a chat with your friends, and then going home. You haven't really practiced.
Yeah.
So the people who are going for the high goals, they're going to spend not just hours, but they'll be counting the hours to shoot. So it might be 1,000 hours a week. It might be 200 hours a day.
That's a
and
lot.
that's a lot. And 200 hours take around 3 hours.
Yeah.
Especially a long distance. They have to walk down and get the hours and walk back. That's a lot of training.
Yeah.
But that's training. It's not like I'm going to stand in the shed and just have fun at 5 meters, just plot the target. But there's no real feedback from that.
Yeah.
What matters is when you're training, you have to actually say, I'm going to train. I'm going to spend the next 2 hours doing nothing but shooting. And actually doing it. And it's like going to the gym. It's like one burst of, I'm going to work really hard today. But then you don't sustain that for more than a week. And that's one of the really tough things of progressing into a higher level in archery is you really have to maintain that routine. And I know people who travel to go interstate or to go overseas and they'll try and find the nearest archery range so they can still practice. They're that dedicated where they know that if they skip a day, they're going to lose a lot. That flow is very important. And as I mentioned before, when you shoot that much, you go through the highs and lows. Arguably a lot quicker than somebody who only does it once a week, because they might never experience that slump. So there's never that drive to become better. Whereas somebody who trains a lot will go through the worst parts of the shot process. They'll feel really bad about it, but they come back and work through it and become better archers in a short amount of time.
And the thing is, when it comes to training, when you want to take it more seriously, you will feel at times less confident. All this negative talk, and then you might get, in music we get stage fright. So when you are put in a situation, let's say in a competition, you get nervous, and then you need to go past that and think, okay, how can I overcome this? How can I perform my best, even though I'm really, really nervous and scared?
So my first competition was terrible. Like I was so shaky. I was shooting the wrong target half the time. I was like, wow, I made every mistake possible. I was really freaked out. Like I didn't enjoy my first competition. That was, I think, my biggest mistake was I forgot to have fun. I'm not a serious athlete. It's like I thought it would be. It's kind of like I'm gonna be a serious performer, but really I'm just a performer for my friends or my parents or something. And we take it way too seriously. And that's my first mistake. I took it way too seriously. I think once you get to a point where it doesn't actually matter that much, you start to kind of take it easy on yourself. Because I had a bad shot. It's okay. I've done the worst. You start laughing at yourself, and you remember to have fun. I think that's one of the things with dealing with stress. One thing is remember the positives. Like feel good about everything you do rather than the negatives only. It's very easy to fall into a trap, especially because it's such an individual sport. And like you can fall into a mindset of that's a really bad shot. I'm not having a good day. Some people just walk out. Some people just quit and go, well, you know what? I'm having a bad day. I'm going home now and just walk out the competition. And that's kind of the bottom. But I think a lot of times it's about being enthusiastic about it, about being confident about it, and especially if it's familiar. Like for a lot of people, a competition is really just another practice session. It's a bit of medals now, so it's like if you see it that way, rather than making a really big deal. Because my first state comp was like, wow, state championships, wow, it's really scary. It was the same as what you do every day. Except that because we didn't do it every day, then it became a really big deal. For those who were there winning the medals, this is just a regular practice. In fact, their training is probably easier than the actual event. So they were quite confident. They shot. They didn't care if they came first, second, or 10th. they shot their best. And
Yeah.
it was really about their individual goal. You know, you shoot the best you can. It doesn't matter if you came first or last, as long as you shot your best.